Hello and welcome back, Marianne. Joining me on Star Trek Fleet Command once again. So we're going to be talking about the new Incursion timeline that got released a few days ago. I should have done a video on it a few days ago, but I didn't, unfortunately. But yeah, the new Incursions timeline is going to be APAC, which is going to be on July 18th, which is tomorrow. And then US is going to be on July 19th, and the EU is going to be on July 20th. So obviously that corresponds to Tuesday and Wednesday. However, there is a big caveat to this. The APAC server is going ahead with the Incursions event tomorrow, or the 18th of July. That will always happen. However, depending on what happens during that event and how it works in the day, the US and the EU server might go ahead or may get basically cancelled once again, due to the fact that, you know, they can't code the game properly. And they're having clearly massive issues with regards to the incursions. Something else that we want to talk about a little bit about the game with regards to the coding and stuff like that as well is, I don't know why. I mean, I'm not saying coding's easy, because it's definitely probably isn't, and certainly for a game of this magnitude, it probably definitely isn't. However, I know a lot of people did report in the last Incursions event, people were hitting, well, I say last Incursion event, not the last Incursion, because that got completely scrapped because of coding problems and issues across the board. But people are having issues with regards to the code in the game. And I'll get on to basically a Scopely response that I've been told. I can't clarify whether that is completely accurate or not, because I never personally asked the question, but I got told it, and I'm going to run with it. But basically, someone asked or reported a bug saying when they target ship A, they end up attacking ship B, for example, when they're very in close proximity to each other, due to the way that the code is reacting or acting within this sort of field. And apparently they got told by Scopely, again, this is all speculation from the person I got told this from, apparently they got told as an answer to that was, the code is working fine. The code is intended and exactly how they wanted it in the game to be implemented. Which, if that is true, and what they're saying is true, I mean, that's completely ridiculous. Like, how can you have a code that doesn't technically work to the way that you're visually seeing it in game? To me personally, that would be classed as a broken code. If I'm honest, I would say that was completely, completely stupid, and it definitely should be fixing something like that. I do think there's many problems anyway with the game, and that I've obviously come across with regards to the code in the game and the way that the game sort of portrays itself. I mean, the code itself, I mean, every now and again, I don't know if you've noticed, but when you go into, for example, the system view, you'll end up with like a big purpley yellow or pinky purple ring around your station, or you'll end up with it round mining nodes or something on the lines of that, and all that is just that's all faults within the game. I personally haven't seen it for about a week now, but I definitely have seen it, and I've done videos on it in the past, where basically the code that gets implemented for each arc or something like that basically gets completely destroyed and destroys the game sort of graphical look. And it's a bit weird why they keep having the same problems every single arc. And it's like they're not learning from their own mistakes. It's a little bit strange why, like I say, why it keeps occurring. But anyway, I'm going to carry on with Incursions. Let's read the rest of what they said. So they basically just said, we'd like to thank you all for your patience as we worked on the main issues from Infinite Incursions earlier this week. We are now happy to announce that Infinite Incursions are scheduled to come back next week, starting from tomorrow, the 18th of July. Check out the full event schedule below, as I've already laid out for you. It'll be APAC, US, then the EU, providing that the APAC sort of rollout is better, I guess. The only reason I can think they've gone for APAC is maybe there's less player base over there, so it might not kill the game as much when they roll it out. Because I don't really know why they've chose APAC, because they don't really say why they've chose APAC over the other servers. Yeah, it doesn't really sort of specify it, but I can maybe there's just less people playing over there on them servers, so they can sort of, I don't know, maybe the game's not getting hit anywhere near as hard as it would do if it was released on obviously the US certainly and the EU as well, because obviously I believe the biggest play bases are on obviously the US and the EU servers in general, even though they are slowly dwindling away. But they're definitely still the biggest. But yeah, please let me know your thoughts down below of what you think of Incursions, how you want Incursions to happen, whether you think it's a good or a bad thing to have Incursions. I personally think it's overall a good thing. However, they just need to fix their code in the game. When they implement something, it really is like they don't test it before it's implemented into the game. And that's not just going for Incursions, that's also going for the arcs in general and most other new content, because every arc, as we are fully aware by now, they say they plan the arcs 3 to 4, maybe 5 or 6 months in advance of when they know it's going to be released. And then they obviously have to then plan it all out accordingly, and obviously write the code for it, do whatever else is needed to implement it into the game for the timeline that they want to implement it. And in that timeline, they should be doing obviously real world testing of the game on live servers, because it has to be on live servers. And what they should do, in my opinion, is they should have dedicated servers that they test on specifically. It only has to be 1, maybe 2 servers from each region. They have basically 2 test servers in each region. They introduce the arc to them people, and it can be all behind closed doors. You have to be obviously allocated to be part of that server or whatever else that whatever else is implemented, like a beta server, basically. So you have to be sort of allocated slots. Specific people will be allocated certain things. There'll be obviously disclaimer agreements, this, that, and the other, to not release the content early. And they should be testing the actual events, the arcs, the way it works, and this, that, and the other, before it then gets released and pushed onto the actual main bulk of the main servers, just to iron out any problems, coding issues, any graphical problems, which seems to be the biggest problem when it gets released, is always graphical issues with the game. And I'm not saying they don't test, but they certainly clearly don't test enough in the right places, because when they do their closed behind the doors testing, i.e. on their own, probably own servers, back at their headquarters, doing whatever it is they're doing, well, that's not the real world. That's not the same latencies. That's not the same servers. It's not the same, potentially not the same servers. And, so they're going to get a completely different experience. And if someone actually tested and did part of the game, it seems to me that basically the team there, whether they have or not, I don't know, seems to have sort of disappeared. And maybe one person's working on each arc now or something. I don't know. But it seems to be like one person's working on each arc, and all they're doing is going, all right, we'll just have to copy and paste everything across with maybe a new graphical image, or maybe a new, sort of ship or whatever it is. But at the moment, everything seems to be just basically copy and paste straight from the last arc, straight over with a new officer that doesn't make any sense to use in certain circumstances in terms of the event. And it seems like the team has basically gone to sleep and put this game to bed. Even though I know they're saying that they're working on it, this, that, and the other. How many people are working on it, though? I mean, just because they're working on it doesn't mean there's actually a good amount of people or a team working on it. I mean, one person working on it is, I'm working on the game. Well done. You know what I mean? So How, where are they going with this? Are they gonna kill the game themselves? Are they working on new projects? Are they working on other scopely, obviously, IP projects? I don't know. They need to sort of clarify, what the hell they're doing over there in that studio that is currently obviously trying to work on this game. But yeah, it's a bit frustrating, but hopefully the Incursions does add a new element to the game. How many people will take part in it? To be honest, don't really know. I know for a fact, for my server, my alliance, for example, I know a lot of people are not going to be taking part in this Incursions, and never will. I know that for a fact in my alliance, and probably server wide as well. We'll have the same sort of feeling. But obviously, I'm only one server out of hundreds. So it's one of them where we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it's good. And hopefully you can look forward to seeing a little bit more content, because at the moment it's very stale. It's all the same stuff. But hopefully you're enjoying the new game that I'm playing at the moment, and look forward to seeing that video come live after this as well. Other than that, comment down below, leave a like, and leave your thoughts. As always, head over to Discord and join there as well. Got a great community over there, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.